50 years of official denial are coming to an end.
There's nothing to hide.
There's nothing to hide at all. Nothing to hide at all.
For the first time anywhere, hear all new testimony from the highest levels of our government.
This is not science fiction. This is science fact.
The evidence is credible. The conclusions are incredible. Sci-Fi presents a world broadcast premiere, a Tuesday Declassified special, Out of the Blue. Premieres next Tuesday at 9, only on Sci-Fi.
Retired Colonel Philip J. Corso, a member of President Eisenhower's National Security Council and former head of the Foreign Technology Desk at the U.S. Army's Research and Development Department, recently came forward to reveal that he led a double life while in the military. On the outside, he researched and evaluated weapon systems for the Army, while deep inside the Pentagon, in his memoir, The Day After Roswell, he was responsible for the Army's most deeply guarded secret, the Roswell Files.
I had the evidence that a crash did happen here. Stalin gave orders to get this information that came out of Roswell to some of his top scientists and agents. That order went out. And we knew that in the special intelligence that I was in the Pentagon, which is very closely held. KGB trying to penetrate that, but they never did.
According to Corso, the military seeded the industrial complex with components discovered in the wreckage near Roswell. He says that ultimately, these gave rise to today's integrated circuit chips, fiber optics, lasers, and stealth technology. The retired colonel recently made an appearance at the 50th anniversary of the Roswell incident, and when asked about criticism from skeptics, he responded.
I asked him this: were you there with me? Were you part of this? Were you cleared? Did you have the clearances? They can't answer those questions. All they do is criticize with no evidence. The message in my book that I like to see is that the younger generation look at this and see what we did and see the help we got from outer space, and these beings exist. Give us information to the young people of the world in this country. They want to hear it. They want it. Give it to them. Don't hide it and tell lies and make stories. They're not stupid. It's their information. It doesn't belong to the Army or the Department of Defense. It's theirs. If it's classified, take the classification off and give it to them.
Go. Go. Econ. Go. Launch commit. Go. Roger that. Stand by for mode 1 Bravo. 1 Bravo.
Since his journey to the moon, Apollo 14 astronaut Edgar Mitchell has met with high-ranking military officers from several countries who admitted involvement with alien technology and hardware.
I talked with people of stature, of military and government credentials and position, and heard their stories and their desire to tell their stories openly to the public, and that got my attention very rapidly. The first-hand experiences of these credible witnesses that now in advanced years are anxious to tell their story, we can't deny that. And the evidence points to the fact that Roswell was a real incident and that indeed an alien craft did crash and the material was recovered from that crash site.
In early July 1947, Corso was post-duty officer in Fort Riley, Kansas. There, he claims to have seen a body transported from an airbase in New Mexico.
I went back and there was 5 crates there, like 5 or 6, I think it was 5. I lifted one up and here's this body there and floating in fluid. First I thought it was a child because it was small. Then I looked at this head and all. Right away, and this was only happened in a matter of seconds. Then I put the end back down. And the head was different, the arms were spindly, the body it was gray. So right at that moment, I figured, I don't know what this thing is. So like in the intelligence business, I just better put it in the back of my head here and wait till maybe in the future I get corroboration so I can evaluate what it is.
Intelligence officer Jesse Marcel was one of the first to arrive at the crash site near Roswell, New Mexico in July 1947.
I sensed that there was a cover-up someplace about this whole matter.
How could a government, known for its inability to keep a secret, have maintained one of such magnitude for so long?
Well, it hasn't maintained it. It's been leaking out all over the place. But handled is by denial, by denying the truth of the documents that have leaked, by attempting to show them as fraudulent, as bogus of some sort. There has been a very large disinformation and misinformation effort around this whole area, and one must wonder how better to hide something out in the open than just to say it isn't there. You're deceiving yourself if you think this is true, and yet there it is right in front of you. So it's a disinformation effort that is the most concerning here, not the fact that they kept a secret. They haven't kept it. It's been getting out into the public for 50 years or more.
We have not been hiding anything.
Evidently, there is a variety of UFO activity that is beyond the control of the U.S. Air Force, unless all those who have witnessed UFOs can be discounted.
C'était grand quand même, a dit mon mari. Oui, c'était comme 12 assiettes.
Just extraordinary speed.
We just saw a flying saucer.
Et là, elle est partie à une vitesse extraordinaire.
And it just moved at that kind of rate right over my head.
Diese Kugeln verglühten in der Atmosphäre.
And then we just concluded very quickly that it was a UFO.
While events such as mass suicide by cultists receive enormous publicity, the testimony and observations from credible individuals are essentially ignored. Whatever the answer may be, one thing seems certain. An observable physical phenomenon is taking place before our eyes, and those with the means to investigate are keeping the information from the general public.